Hello, thank you all for joining us. We are the ENSE Enterprise, which stands for Strategic Education through Naval Systems Experiences. My name is Hannah Donikuski, and I'm the program manager of the team. Our goal as an enterprise is to give students experience in designing, building, and testing engineering systems with a focus on naval applications. This year, we have 4 projects that support those goals. Our mass rescue project, sponsored by the Systems Engineering Research Center and supported by the U.S. Coast Guard, is working towards developing a more lightweight raft for mass rescues. The Under Ice Acoustics project, sponsored by the Naval Engineering Education Consortium and supported by the Naval Undersea Warfare Center Newport Division, is in its first year of a 3-year effort to use machine learning and acoustic data to identify, localize, and track snowmobiles on the portage. Our marine material team, sponsored by ArcelorMittal, is developing a low-cost, environmentally friendly sensor housing suitable for mass deployment. Our longest-running project, the NERD, is what we'll be discussing for the remainder of this presentation. The NERD, which stands for Nautical Emergency Rescue Device, is sponsored by the Keweenaw Bay Indian community. All of these projects focus on supporting our goal, but today we'll be focusing on just the NERD. And with that, I'll let the team introduce themselves.
Hi, I am Andrea Yudovich, and I've been a member of the NERD team for this past year, and I will be the ENSE Enterprise Program Manager for the next year.
Hi, my name is Seth Prigge. I am the NERD project manager for this year.
Hi, my name is James Corbags. I've been a member of the NERD team for the past 2 years and a member of ENSE for the past 3.
So many of the regions in the Great Lakes do not currently have the resources for lifeguards, whether they are paid or volunteers. This causes a huge risk to swimmers, which is why that there have been 841 drownings since 2010. Drownings is the #1 cause of accidental death in children ages 1 through 4 and #2 for children under 15. Nearly half of the people that drowned are rescuers trying to save another. Communities are currently looking for and need an affordable way to keep their swimmers safe. So our solution is the NERD. So it is an affordable solution for nearshore as a nearshore emergency rescue device. The NERD is $5,000 less than its closest competitor that performs in a similar manner. This is our current version on a performance run on the portage this past October.
These are the previous generations of the NERD that we derived our 3rd generation, which you previously saw, from. The 1st generation, Rev 1 in the top left there, was our original concept, and it was very easy to manufacture. However, it was pretty slow and heavy, and it was very hard to service. Rev 2 is our 2nd generation, which was bigger and more powerful, which helped with the speed issues, but it also was even heavier than Rev 1 and was very difficult to transport and also still somewhat difficult to service. Our current generation, Generation 3, or Rev 3 as we call it, improves on all of these characteristics. Not only is it lighter and more easy to transport, it's also faster than the previous generations and has an external charging port for ease of use. The improved handling comes from the hull shape and from the lightweight. It's also the cheapest of all our models to manufacture, costing less than $2,000 to manufacture.
Continuous improvement has always been a goal for the NERD. That is why there have been the 3 generations of it, as Seth has mentioned. With our current version, we have heavily focused on the human-machine interface, so how will the rescuer interact with the controller? When the rescuer has to operate the controller, we'd like them to successfully be able to save someone's life when the time comes. The other side of it being, how will the victim interact with the NERD to quickly be able to be brought back to shore and safely? We have created test plans for both sides of this that we will execute this coming fall when we return to session.
Once we developed an effective life-saving device, we wanted to look at the manufacturability of the device itself. To do this, we broke the device into 3 main parts: the propulsion section of the device, which moves the system, the electrical, which provides power to the propulsion unit, and the structural, which is the body of the system. This allows a drowning victim to grab onto it and stay afloat in an emergency situation. Pictures of each section are shown below their respective headings on this slide. We developed this device in an attempt to compete with other competitors. On the top of this slide, 3 competing products are listed with their retail prices. These are the Emily, Hoverick, and USAFE. Although these devices serve their purpose, they are quite expensive. Our goal was to develop a low-cost device with the same functionalities as these competing products. It must have remote control capabilities, be able to be driven out to a victim at a speedy rate, and a drowning victim must be able to stay afloat by holding onto the device in an emergency situation. The structural portion of our product can be manufactured for approximately $180, propulsion for approximately $160, and electrical approximately $400. This results in the entire device costing under $1,000 to manufacture, which is significantly lower than that of our competitors.
The Nerd will help people safely enjoy the Great Lakes by providing an affordable option for communities surrounding the Great Lakes to be able to help rescue drowning victims and help keep their rescuers safe and not put them at as serious of a risk. This is all working towards our long-term vision of ending drownings in the Great Lakes region. Thank you for watching our video and participating in the Virtual Design Expo.